Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be talking about Mars entering into Cancer. I just want you to know it's going to be an emotional shit show. Um, that's just the truth. I'm not trying to be mean. I will talk about the good stuff, I promise, if you stay tuned. Um, but I did want to focus in on how Mars has been in the sign of Gemini for a little over 7 months. And because it was in Gemini for so long, we've accumulated or absorbed that energy. So something about us has changed, right? So I'm going to give us some credit here by saying with Mars having been in Gemini and having had that retrograde, I do feel like overall, if you're somebody who's on it, you're doing the work, you're not looking for the drama, you're not feeding into the lower vibrations, not to say that you didn't, but you don't want it, right? And you're trying to learn and understand yourself better because they say it takes 20 to 30 days to learn a new habit. You've learned something, right? And the beautiful thing about Mars and retrogrades is that it really gives us the time to change our energetic movement, right? So if you think about Mars and Gemini together, this is fast movement, fast thinking, fast acting, fast talking, fast, on and on and on and on and on, right? Fast nervousness, nervous reactions, right? But with those retrogrades, what they've helped you do if you've been doing the work is not be in that Mars energy in that way, right? You've learned how to suppress it, how to stop and think. You've gotten some kind of skills around the point where you're like, I'm not feeding into that. Something has been gnawing at you to the point where it's pissed you off, where you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. I don't ever want to experience that again. And so you've learned something about your reactions or the way that you accept things in your life to the point where you're like, nah, I'm not doing that no more. With that being said, you have learned a habit and a skill. Okay, so for the people who have been doing their work, this transition is going to be smooth. Does not mean that you're not going to have things coming for you. Air signs and fire signs, unfortunately, Mars and Cancer doesn't bode well. So you're going to have some challenges, just point blank, period. For the water signs and earth signs, you're going to be trined and sextiled. So it's not going to be as bad. There's still going to be some hiccups, no doubt about it. Just because of your spiritual journey alone and where you're at in life and how mature you are, right? That's just a thing. But essentially, you guys might experience this more on the positive side, but nonetheless, ultimately, look at this time as a test, right? And anything that is coming up is not so much as a good or a bad thing, but more so about seeing, acknowledging where you need to evolve and grow more, where you need to do more work. Okay. So now that I've spent just 80 hours saying that, Mars enters Cancer on March 25th, and it'll be there until May 20th. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. So remember, South Node is taking place here, which has also been there for a long time. This is also an energy of somewhere where we're like, you know what? I'm not doing that no more. I'm letting go. I'm releasing all things, behaviors, energetic movement, all Aries type themes. You're letting go and releasing, moving away from. Our cycle is ending, right? So you have support there for your South Node as well. You definitely want to check your South Node area of life or your Scorpio area of life to see what else is coming up here in a way that you might need to let go of and or work on or work through, dig deeper and do the healing work. Mars also rules the first house, your body, self-esteem, your actions, your energy, what you give your energy to, or what motivates you to act towards things, independence, assertiveness, bold, daring. It's the masculine energy. So this is undoubtedly going to have a lot to do with cancer, with relationships in some way, shape, or form. Um, and what you're passionate about and what you're fighting for. This could also be violence, actual fighting, frustrations, anger, and aggression. Um, and then Cancer is a cardinal water sign. So it's used to being active, but Cancer is also ruled by the moon. So it's actively working towards our emotions, our sensitivities, what we want to protect or what we're passionate about protecting. And Mars is not happy in Cancer. It's in detriment here. And 9 times out of 10, whenever a planet is in detriment, we often experience it in the lower expressions anyways. So again, see this as more of test or time of being tested emotionally. Um, but we can see a lot of angry crying, angry spring cleaning, cleaning up your home in an angry manner. Um, Angry, emotionally defensive or protective or passive aggressive or very indirect about expressing our emotions, how we feel, even our home, our body. So we could have some ailments showing up in our body, inflammation. Whenever we're talking about Mars here, excuse me, um, this could also just be in our home, things going on in our home with our children, with our family, um, our land, property, um, with mothers specifically, or women in general, because Cancer rules the moon and it's also women. Um, we may act impulsively towards the things that we love. If we feel threatened or our family feels threatened, we'll react emotionally. Um, we're going to be a lot more cautious of how we show vulnerability. So going back to something that we learned from Mars being in Gemini, energetically, even if it's something that's not about speaking or any of the Mars and Gemini type themes, there's something that we're stopping and thinking before we act right now. And again, this is specific to the people who have been doing their healing work. Please don't be honest with yourself. Don't get caught up in here and sit around here and fuck around and listen to me and be like, yeah, I'm doing my work. Don't lie to yourself. This is going to sneak up on you. I promise you, we are minutes away from um eclipse season. Um, things I have been boiling and brewing underneath the surface with all the retrogrades energy. We haven't been acting, even though we've been wanting to act, and now everything is direct, and we are going to act. Even if we told ourselves we're not going to act. If you have not been doing the work, I have to say that I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to do fear mongering. I'm saying be mindful. Don't fool yourself into thinking that this is not going to have anything to do with you because of what you said you ain't going to do. Meanwhile, you ain't doing no kind of healing. I promise you, Spirit wants you to get in this higher vibration. It is going to burn a fire under your ass by any means necessary. Just period. Trust me, I'm doing the work and I'm still getting triggered. The thing is it's like different cycles. coming in that we are having to deal with, right? So say for instance, you're doing the work and something has surpassed. You're seeing it. You've gotten some blessings. You've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. You're on your way and you're like, yo, I'm ready to go, right? Aries season. Let's make a move. As soon as his foot hits the floor, he's come, like we're ready. Okay. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. We got other lifetimes we need to heal. We got past issues that haven't been healed, that are gonna come up and they want to be addressed, right? We have things that we've pushed under the rug because of one reason or another. We can't address them. We don't have any control over what other people do, right? Well, we're getting ready to move into the Aries Libra axis. We are in Aries season where it's all about us against others. Promise you, family, this gonna come up. Okay, don't be surprised. Get ready. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Um, if we feel threatened or our family feels threatened, we will react emotionally. So being cautious on how we're showing our vulnerability. We can be moody, we can be insecure, have meltdowns, temper tantrums, and I'm not just talking about children. Don't be in a relationship with somebody who don't know how to tell you that they love them and then wonder why this motherfucker sitting at your door. Just showing up at your house, having a tantrum. I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm just saying it could happen. All right. So be careful. Again, moon rules mother, women, so we could have a lot of things or themes coming up around mother, women, children, and a place to stay, their home, their security, who's taking care of them, who's protecting them, child protective services, are they really doing their job? This could definitely have something to do with school, with the Jupiter and Aries thing. I haven't really been paying attention to the news, but this could be gun-related things happening in schools and or dangerous type situations happening in schools where it comes out like who's protecting the children? Whose job is that? And how is it getting done? Addressing those types of things. You could feel the need to want to get out, be in nature. Again, people are ready to get moving. You've been sitting on something for a long time now, and people want to start getting active on that. That could actually help to get moving, get motivated. Um, what kind of sports comes with swimming? Mars. Yeah, this is my what's that dude that can swim really good? My God, why can't I think of his name? I'm pretty sure he's a white dude. Michael Phelps. This is my Michael Phelps placement. Get you in there and get you to do some swimming or some water aerobics or activities. Um, or just, just being active in general. Surfing, anything to do with water, volleyball, all that. So some of the positives that will be more that we can see more of is we'll be more emotionally driven. We'll be talking about how we feel, about family, about how we feel about family, how we feel about security, how we feel about protecting our home. We'll offer more nurturing. And offer a more nurturing, inviting environment or home. We'll take care of our loved ones, checking in with our aura and our body and our emotions and the past, securing a safe space to stay, or just safe space in general, both in our body and within our home and stay hydrated. You might even feel thirsty a lot around this time. Is heat and water mixed together. What is that? Um, is that evaporation? Humidity? Um, smoke. I want to say smoke. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I mean, yeah, it could, your mouth could be dry. Your mouth literally could feel dry to the point where you have to drink more water, but stay hydrated will help you as well. Um, Practice compassion, staying open, doing the healing work, spring cleaning, salt baths and scrubs, um, and having a support system and being a support to others if you can, if you're in the right emotional space to do so. So here are some of the things that we can see on the global stage, on the world stage. Domestic situations and concerns, housing concerns, family dynamics, protecting mothers and children, who's protecting them, family units, protective services, national security, neighborhood watch, um, confrontation, intense and passionate expression of anger, emotionally on edge, mood swings out of nowhere. I feel like mood swings is a mood out of nowhere. Okay. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Borders, refugees, immigrants, missing people, especially in that population. Um, I said borders, international borders, water related issues, flood updates. I've heard there have been some floods, but even there could be updates about the floods and or updates about chemical spills near water. Um, Boat hijacks, boat accidents on water or jet skis, drowning, electric and water, a lot of themes coming up with that. So being like electrocuted, be careful. Or even it could be electric outages due to storms, specifically rain. Um, mm, Home and water themes, so pipes or leaky pipes or toilet bowls overrunning. I mean, there are a multitude of ways that water issues can show up in a home, right? Um, Changes around trade policies and alliances. I think we're already seeing that with China and is it Russia? Is it China and Russia that's working together and changing their what kind of currency that they're accepting. This could also be issues with stomach, breast, digestion, depression, mental health, insomnia, inflammation to any of these things that can lead to surgery for any of these things. So be careful for that. And here are some of the things that you can do to work with or manifest with. Again, swimming, water aerobics, hot baths and soaks, aloe, lemon, mineral drinks, dandelion, ginger, rosemary, white stones, um, working on trust issues, health issues, um, relating skills, and retreating. I really had to think about what that just said. So you know that Mars is going to be there for a specific period of time, and throughout this time, it'll transit other planets and etc. I just want to say in the future, if you want to know specifically how this could be affecting you, it would be good for you to sign up to the Patreon page, become a Patreon member to get your weekly astrology specific to you and your chart. That is the best way to get advice on how these things could be affecting you. But I will go through what transits it will be hitting without staying here too long. And also I'll go into these on a deeper level one by one when they as they come up. So Mars will trine Saturn on the 28th, which can help with stability, security, and building a solid foundation. This could also be good for detoxing, cleanses, colonics, anything to do with pipes, deep cleaning, and dentists, because Saturn ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is your bone structural systems. Okay. Mars will trine the South Node and sextile the North Node. Again, what are you building? This is emotional security, financial security. And then Mars will square Chiron. Now, on April 27th, I did go in deeper on this because this is going to be a problem. Some of the things you need to keep in mind for this specifically, even though I will be doing a bigger video and it's not going to happen until the end of April, but still, a lot of these themes are correlating. So this is about individuals feeling hurt as a result of things coming up from the past, things coming up from home, anything with mothers and families, domestic violence, childhood issues, childhood trauma, children in general, drama with romantic relationships in the home. So especially if you have a live-in partner, whether it's marriage or not, doesn't have to be, but just don't be so open to allowing people in your home. Okay. Not, this is just not, it's just not the time for it, unfortunately. There can be issues with sinuses, head injuries, concussions, headaches, migraines, accidents, emotional rage, yelling, screaming, again, having tantrums, burns, cuts, and especially while cooking with ovens, bakings, and okay, anything to do with that. Okay. And then Mars will sextile Uranus. So this could be issues around gas stoves, explosions, electrical fires, flooding, power lines down, registering a gun, self-defense, and getting a home alarm system. And then Mars is going to square Pluto, which I think is also taking place later in the month of April. You want to get prepared for that because that's going to be a fucking problem. And that's all I'm going to say for that, but I will be doing bigger videos on this, you guys. As usual, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.